It's real talk. But I'm sorry.
No. I was talking with the young lady who was in charge of that part of the program at the end of the day before she left, and she made the comment. I think she said 8.6% of what's out there on the internet is accurate. And so my question was, after hearing that, why don't we tell young people just not to go on to this stuff? Now, she and I talked back and forth, and she was saying, but it's not all bad, it's not. And then I had just at that moment, because these things come to me as I'm kind of late too, and so I said to her, sex is good, but we want our kids engaging in it down at the ages of 5 and 6 and 10 and all. So just because a thing is good, and I understand that the internet, that the social thing can be good, but does that mean that our children are ready for it? And the more I hear, as I sat and listened to all the sessions today and all the things that are going on. Now, Mr. Williams would probably tell you, I don't know anything about the internet, and I have to work on that. But I listened to this today, and I concluded that maybe it's something that they shouldn't have access to at this early stage. And you don't run the risk of some pervert learning about them and all that. And then when I said that to her about, well, sex is good, but do you want your children engaging in it at this young age? And she and I both, it was a moment of insight for both of us. And I think that's what we have to start looking at this as. Age appropriate. They're not ready for it. And so why not just take it until they are? We are quite different at the age of 18 and 30, 40, and I can go on up. And so I think, because I look at little babies sitting up in their baby seats, and they're tuned into this stuff. I'm from the old school, and I admit it, and I don't think that's a bad thing in every respect. We are not only what we eat, we are what we hear, what we see, what we read. All of this goes into making us. And I'm worried about when I see little babies, and I'm talking about babies, looking at this stuff and they're like, somebody has hypnotized them. That cannot replace a mother or a father sitting with a child and reading to this child. I don't care what anybody tells me. No expert can come and tell me that whatever this little baby is looking at here can overcome this child being close to a parent, with that parent reading to him.
And what I'll say to that piece, I actually I didn't do a study, but during the course of my college program, it was said, and look, I'm not going to sit here and say that y'all shouldn't be on social media. No. But it is a fact that I want to say they said that the attention span has dropped from the year 2000 to the year 2013. The human attention span it started off at 12 seconds. And since social media and all that stuff has taken over, so to speak, it's dropped down to 4. So now the average thought process, the average time of paying attention has dropped 25%, I believe. Or was that a quarter? I'm sorry. So yeah, it's to that point, and even now, like I have a 1-year-old, and we read to her every night, and we can already tell at 1 the changes and how it's enhancing her. So there's a lot there for that.
And even I'm probably the oldest person in this room, and I'm going to take advantage of it for a minute or two here. There is no doubt in my mind that what we do with these little babies starting, they used to say, and it's probably true, that you should start reading to a baby even when it's in the womb, that they can hear and understand. And I can tell you, when I see children out and about, I can tell the difference between a child whose parents are reading and talking to them from a child who's being babysat by TV. The children are more engaged, they're more alert, they respond more appropriately. I cannot help but think that when those two children get in first grade, I can think about who's going to be the top person in that classroom. You cannot replace the importance of mothers and fathers. You can't do it. Now, the packages that I passed out today, that is just a few of the things over the years that I keep close and read on a regular basis, because we all need sometimes things to encourage us or to get us back on point about something, about just knowing that what you're doing is basically right, giving you some idea about how to do it. I don't expect all the young people to read that at this time. I dated it because I want you to hold on to it. Hold on to it because the day will come when it probably can read something in there that might help you. These are things that my husband and I have collected over the years. Not all of them, because I would have to make it enough copies for 50, I don't know what. But anyway, read them. Take your time to read them. They can sustain you in ways that sometimes you can't find a person to do for you. Because we are what we read.
So with that being said, we wanted to bring it to a close, but Ms. Holliday, would you give the kids a question from your presentation to see who could get an answer? Maybe they can get a gift or something.
All right, so I'm not sure if they're here, but one is here. So there was a question that I posed in my session, which was on entrepreneurship. What are ways in which you can seek an opportunity to implement your business idea? And one of the responses that I got was, well, it's hard to do that because I feel that I don't have access to people. The networking piece came up. And so I gave an example of a way in which that individual or any individual that has a business idea could have implemented their idea. And in which way was that? And this should be very easy because one of the questions that I answered was to one of the individuals in this room. I'll give you a clue. It involved a lot of people being here today under one roof in one building. And in which way could you have utilized that for your business?
Had to do with sweets.
Yes. It was two examples, one dealing with art and one dealing with sweets.
Is that logo that you discovered
Okay, so is that the one you just got on the top about that logo that discovered the honey with the pollinator and that you have some people have an allergy? Is that what you're asking?
Not quite, but I think that her answer is good because it does show that she was paying attention to the specific examples that I gave. So what I will say is that I told those individuals that today would have been a great opportunity to showcase your business ideas. We had one gentleman that does original artwork painting, and we had another young lady who enjoys baking and wants to start a pastry business. And one of the issues challenges they say that they face is networking and not being exposed to the right people. I feel today would have been a great time to have a little table, talk to Mr. Williams, say, hey, can I set up a little table, have my some samples of my treats, or have art exhibition, a little display. I said, because when we leave here, we're all going back to our own individual places, work, school, wherever, and word of mouth travels well, and it's often the foundation of a successful business. And so today would have been a great day to showcase any business ideas that you all would have had. So keep that in mind when you're in settings like these. Talk to the person that's facilitating, that's planning, and say, hey, can I just set up a little table and display, my talents?
Mrs. Williams?
So we discussed 3 techniques for calming yourself and promoting a better mental health. So who can name all 3 things that we discussed at the end? All 3 of those techniques, firsthand. My man DJ.
Deep breathing, writing out a journal,
Uh-huh.
and talked about. We talking about?
Anybody want to help? 2 for 1.
Meditation.
Meditation. My man. Give that man a
You got all
prize.
3?
Yep.
This is a bow tie from the Ellis Tie Company. That is our marketing director.
Okay, thank you.
Give that to DJ.
Yeah.
Does anybody, does anybody want to say anything that they took from this today? Anybody learn something? Or how will you apply it going forward? Don't be afraid, we got more gifts if y'all got answers.